Welcome to the Friday My Amazon Guy Q&A session. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Let me know what it's like to see me back. So a couple of updates before we go into the questions and session part of it. So I am feeling a ton better. I had full-on blown pneumonia, was super rough there for a couple of weeks, and just really have lost a lot of lung power. But I think I'll get through today's session. If not, we'll cut it short. We'll see how it goes. Shout out, though, to Jason Master Mateo for covering last week's Q&A. It was really nice to see a few of you guys comment and say nice things about how he's gotten better at running the show. I really appreciate that. We're doing a dress up at my Amazon Guy today, and I'm going to share my screen for this. And we're actually giving away a gift card for whoever gets the most votes on their costume. And I think Mauricio is going to win this one. Check this one out, guys. Dress up for Halloween Spirit Day at my Amazon Guy. I got to hand it to Mauricio here, who dressed up as the fan favorite Jeff Bezos like a cowboy. Check that out there. We also had Kristen Dixon showing up as Amazon Prime. I don't know if this one's a little harder to get. Take a little intellectual power to understand that costume. And we got Natasha dressing up as Pikachu. Great costumes, good Halloween spirit going on at my Amazon Guy today. A+ content is down today, interestingly enough. And I don't know if it's because Halloween has spooked it a little bit or something along those lines. Maybe somebody needs to email Jeff Bezos and tell him to reinstate A+ content from the dead. This could be a very haunting revelation. And so we're going with some good Halloween jokes here today. Could it be this, maybe it's another solar flare that came out of nowhere. We'll see what happens. So if you see your A+ content disappear from your pages, that is why. My own Walmart account was suspended 30 days ago, and we were just about to write the appeal, and Walmart automatically reinstated my account. We got caught for shipping FBA boxes to Walmart customers, which is against terms and conditions, but we've told everybody to do it anyway because nobody ever got caught. Well, we finally got caught. We saw a big string of those about 30 days ago. So you need to not use FBA's fulfillment center to ship Walmart anymore. You might get suspended if you do. The good news is I got reinstated without having to even submit an appeal. So that's really good. Did you guys see my rant from yesterday? Great video, little 10 minutes, super awesome in detail, talking about raising your prices for Black Friday weekend. Some of the comments made me chuckle. I got the question, who is John Galt? Very topical to that video indeed. So that's good. One of the Amazon aggregators is called Boosted, and they sent me a nice care package that arrived yesterday. And they're trying to be a little friendly with me. I got to give them a shout out today, though, because that care package was insane. They sent me a few of the top items from some of the items they've acquired or some of the brands they've acquired lately. One of those was from this company called WellPath, and I've tested these out, and these taste amazing. So as I have been trying to get over my sickness, I've been taking a bunch of supplements, vitamins, you name it, vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D, anything I can get my hands on. I've also been cooking raw ginger root and turmeric, actually frying it, throwing some butter on it, and eating it myself directly as well. One of the things I wanted to mention today, we had an exciting development from one of the brands that works with us. Its name's Casely. They got voted number 17th on the fastest growing private companies in America on the 2021 list on Inc. 5000, which is pretty cool. If you don't know, we have a bunch of other big name household brands that do work with us. Allen Air Purifiers, Casely, which just made that list, and Chirp's another really big one. They got some really awesome wheels. So if you're curious who works with us, you can always go over to myamazonguy.com and check out a bunch of success stories. We have about 50 success stories we've posted publicly with videos from clients. So we really appreciate all of that business. We'll start answering questions here momentarily. Got a couple more updates to get through since I haven't been here for a couple weeks. Going back to my list here. So it looks like FBA has caught up. We've seen restock limits easing, but still seeing some isolated harsh limits on some accounts for unknown reasons. But like my own Momster account, I had a restock limit at about 11,000. and it's now at 21,000 6 weeks later. Checked it this morning. And so what that tells me is that Amazon has caught up, and basically they don't have as big of a backlog at the warehouses. Could be a lot of direct tie-ins to two reasons. This is my own personal opinion. The first being the supply chain woes and the backup. So like you got 100 ships sitting out at the LA port and a bunch of other supply chain woes right now. So I think the inventory is not getting to Amazon, which is why the restock limits have eased a little bit. I think the second reason, though, has direct tie-in to the fact that sales on Amazon are actually down, and you can see this purely based on Amazon's earnings report. They're down 3% today on the stock market here, $100 down on their stock price. And so they missed their Q2 by 1.74%. I've seen a continuation of that well into Q3. I almost guarantee they're going to miss their earnings report for Q3 as well. And so I think that sales overall right now, a bit of a problem, a bit of a challenge on Amazon. So I am super bullish when it comes to selling on the Amazon platform, to be very clear. I'm also biased on that question. I run an agency. Of course, I want sales to be good on Amazon. It means it's good for my business. But we've seen a lot more client frustration over static sales. And as an agency, sometimes we're taking the position and saying like, hey, we actually prevented your sales from going down because everybody else's sales are a little harsh right now. So feel free to write in the comment section whether your sales are up or down. Curious to see what you guys are seeing. It's totally possible to grow when everybody else is slowing down, just a little bit harder. But I think it's pretty obvious that Amazon sales overall are down. Now, with that said, I think the Christmas season this year is still going to be insane. And I think you do need to increase your prices going into Black Friday weekend. And you will still see major stockouts later in the season. But right now, with millions of people quitting their jobs, with record number of people quitting their jobs, a lot of it has to do with some mandates, and that's going to affect people's buying powers. So that's going to be a challenge. Let's see. So lastly, we are hiring at My Amazon Guy. If you ever want to consider working at My Amazon Guy, we do hire international and domestically here in the United States. We got a bunch of different opportunities. We also hire in Canada and Mexico if you want to do that as well. Amazon specialists, it's about a year of experience of Seller Central. Account managers, you got to have prior agency experience or really strong PPC chops. Also hiring for interns. We've had a lot of interns of late. We start people out in the US at $13 an hour, and we'll teach you everything you need to know. So I'm a caveman. I got fire. You want to learn how to sell on Amazon? We'll teach you from the ground up. So if that's something that interests you, send your resume to jobs@myamazonguy.com, and we'll be happy to interview. You'll probably be interviewed by Natasha, who's heading up our HR department. So with that said, had a lot of updates today. I know. Diving into your questions now. So we'll start with David here. I agree with when you say raise prices. Would a good time to raise them be a few days prior to Black Friday? Then leave it raised till New Year's. So I would do it Black Friday morning of, or Thanksgiving night of. One of those two, I think, is the most ideal. I would leave the prices permanently raised. In fact, I think that because of the inflation rates that we're experiencing right now and the cost of good prices that have gone up, your cost to do business has gone up, the supply chain cost has gone up, everything has gone up. We're seeing major inflation. When people throw around the phrase hyperinflation, they usually reference like Venezuela and like 3,000%. We're not obviously in that realm, but we're absolutely at the 50% realm right now, year over year. So I'd say that's pretty aggressive. And even the government hasn't been able to keep the lid on that one of late. All the news you've seen in the last week or two with price increases, supply chain woes, and empty shelves all support that. Robert says, and by the way, Robert, thanks for becoming a member of our channel today. If you want to become a member or get your question prioritized, feel free to donate to the channel or click on join by going to youtube.com/myamazonguy and join to become a member today. Robert says, launched our 14th product a month ago, enrolled in Vine, but 0 claims, 0 reviews on the product, heavy ad costs. Product will flop without at least 1 positive review. What to do? So, Robert, I usually stay in the white hat tactics conversations publicly, but this is a case example of when getting somebody that's in your network who's not directly tied to you to place a buy and get a single product review, it makes sense. It's definitely a gray hat tactic, but that's what I would do if I were in your shoes. Truth be told, Robert, Vine sucks. They now charge for it. There's a lot of products that never get redemptions on Vine. It's just not. It's a broken program. Amazon has made it almost impossible to generate reviews on Amazon these days. I even took a coaching call today with somebody who has a top 40 product on Amazon, top 40, and they have 50,000 reviews on their listing, mind you. And Amazon had sent them a violation for gaming reviews. And the only thing they had running right now was Feedback Whiz. No rebates, no black hat stuff, just running a Feedback Whiz email. And I'm a big fan of Feedback Whiz. We've used them in the past. Personally, I've turned off all of my feedback emails on my account because I see the risk is greater than the reward. About 1 out of 100 people will leave a product review today, unprompted. If you prompt them, maybe get to 2 out of 100 with an email or something like that. And the risk of suspension is just not worth it. So I think if you do things in small isolations, 1, 2, or 3 attempts, you'll play it safe. You'll be fine. Testimonial. We used my Amazon guy a year ago to help with seller support nightmare. Team resolved the problem in 72 hours, worth every penny. Well, thank you very much, Robert. I appreciate that. Thank you for that business as well. Carla says, hi, Steve. What do you think about having one campaign with the same keyword up and down and another that is down only? Do you think the algorithm will take preference to one? This is what I like to call an A/B test with advertising. And I love PPC questions. On my channel, I don't get enough PPC questions. A lot of people come to me with the brand registry stuff. And quite frankly, if you go type in brand registry into Amazon or into Google, excuse me, right now, like I'll just do it myself. And you type in anything related to brand registry, you can see 4 of my videos. They just pop up because nobody has help on all these brand registry bugs. But I love PPC questions. So I would say, Carla, I've run these tests before, and typically speaking, the up and down is going to get about 25 to 33% more impressions. That's from my personal experience. But run your tests, see what happens. Make sure you don't change anything else. You're going to have the same keywords, the same bids, just the bid methodology being changed, and see what happens. You might have different results. You never know. Jenna, thanks for becoming a member of our channel today. We'll definitely prioritize your question when you pop that in there. Jenna says pretty static previously. Thank you, Matt, for the $10 donation. I appreciate that. We'll get to his question next. Hi, Steven. Nice to see you back. Been changing my picks. Can you please take a look and assess the order and the relevance? All right, let's take a look at this Amazon ASIN here. Type that one out. So we got a Bravo 09, Bravo 4, Romeo. I don't know what S is. Sam, Delta, Mango, Delta. Let's see what we get this popped up. All right. So Matt's he's been a super fan of the channel in the last few weeks. Been big supportive. Hired us for multiple coaching sessions. Appreciate your business, Matt. So Garden Gnomes, which is an interesting niche product, and Matt is a super gnome fanatic. So let's take a look at this. So some of the things that Matt's done really well. See how close cropped top and bottom is. It makes the gnome look really big in search. That's a really good thing. Let's take a look at the secondary images and their ordering of them. So weatherproof, I'm guessing you've had questions about this, which is why you're trying to sell right into those objections, which might be why you put that as photo number 2. I don't know that I would put it as photo number 2, but if you're having those objections, then it would make sense. I think having banana for scale shots like this, but also lifestyle, like you're putting in everything that makes product marketing good, right? You've got a kid, and you got a dog, and you got a funny product, right? Like all in one shot. This is a very strong shot, and she's looking right at the camera and smiling, which makes it very beneficial. So I really like that one. I say, here's another banana for scale shot. This one's way better at it than this. But this kind of gives the actual measurements, so I think that's fine. It's probably your weakest photo so far. And then you got one showing him kind of in the wild, right? Showing him what he's doing. One of the things I really like, the fact that you've got custom photos per SKU. So if we look at other products, see how Matt has customized each one of these for the secondary images. And I think that's a very smart play to do. So in here, I like the biker angle, but what you probably ought to do is find somebody who is really who looks like the gnome, quite frankly, somebody who is a biker, and have them take a shot. And that would be a way to take this to the next level. One of the best ways to generate user content too is to offer an incentive for somebody to post your photo on Instagram. And so one of the things you could do is like have a product insert where you actually give them like $20 off or a free product for posting a photo on Instagram. And if you do that, you're going to get hundreds and hundreds of posts. One of my good friends owns New Wave Swim Buoy. And if I could type here, and we're going to go to his Instagram. He has over 40,000 user generated posts on a hashtag New Wave Swim Buoy. It's insane. And he gives away a gift card to his website as people post content. And so, I think this is a very undertapped. Not a lot of people do this, right? So when we talk about tactics, one of the things to keep in mind is anything that is overdone that a lot of people do, the more often that you do something that somebody hasn't done, the more effective your marketing technique will be. And so I think I would run some of those plays. So the other good thing is, and by the way, if you don't know about hidden suppressions, every so often it's always good just to type your own ASIN right into Amazon search, see if it shows up, because there's no tool on the market right now that can detect a hidden suppression when Amazon doesn't even tell you it's happening. So if the ASIN shows up, you're good. If the ASIN doesn't show up, you have a hidden suppression. So I think the ordering is good on this, Matt, and I think the photos are overall qualified. I think you've customized the photos. I don't know how important weatherproof is. I might downgrade that one. I think this is the strongest secondary image that you've got. And if we scroll down and look at A+ content, which is missing on a lot of ASINs today, kind of spooky weekend missing A+ content, but you've got it here. And you've got some great reaction shots from people that you found in the New York park, which is good. The only thing I'd say is, if you got lots of assets to work with, try not to reuse the same ones in the secondary images as the A+ content. I think that would be another way to up your game a little bit. Maybe switch these two out. Or maybe the weatherproof doesn't need to be in the secondary image. Maybe it's good just in the A+ content. So hopefully that's helpful. Matt, thanks again for the donation there. We're going to flip to the top to go to some of our other member questions here. So I think we did that one already. We'll go to David next. Where do you see in 3 to 5 years from now Amazon third-party sellers will be? Do you think it'll explode or be much harder to sell? Without a doubt, David, harder to sell. And that's because Amazon has entered its maturity phase. And anytime a platform or a service or a brand enters its maturity phase, the adoption rates are already present. They're a crazy high amount. And so what Amazon does is they raise the bar, right? So like a few years ago, it was like, hey, you got to have UPC codes. And everybody's like, oh, I don't want to get UPC codes. And then everybody gamed that system. And now instead of UPC codes, you got to have brand registry done and your trademark done. And so they just keep leveling up the barriers to entry. And you're going to continue to see that. It's never been a better time to start selling on Amazon today, because you're going to have a harder time later. It's very similar to the concept where I talk about buying your inventory in mass today, because COGs are going up with the inflation. So anything you buy today is at discount. Same thing with an Amazon account. Anything you build today will cost you less than it will cost to build it later. And so that's why I would suggest getting that going. But there's definitely been a big craze about selling to Amazon aggregators. I mean, I made a website called AmazonAggregators.com. It was more of like a pet project back in Q1 this year. I really haven't done a whole lot with it since. I did interview like 40 Amazon aggregators, and there's a lot of people acquiring businesses right now. Thrasio is the largest. They just announced another $1 billion on Monday. I think their total revenue now is more than $3.5 billion that they've raised. I think this is out of date. I'll have to update that. And Perch is right on their tails, probably the second biggest, with over $1 billion themselves. And then you got some other ones like Heyday Branded and a few others that are coming up on their heels. So many of these aggregators are going to fail. Many of them are going to roll up and sell to other aggregators with the financial modeling and everything else. But Amazon sellers are always going to be my bread and butter. So we have 160 accounts that we manage at My Amazon Guy, and we always focus on the core concept: growing traffic through PPC and SEO, improve conversion rate through design, catalog, and merchandising. And we're always going to do that. So I don't think aggregators is much of a threat as long as you have a good product and you're servicing a niche. If you win on price today, you're going to lose on price tomorrow. Always keep that in mind. But I think if you build a community and you always build content and solve problems, right? So like I always talk about, what's the target demographic of a Russian mail order bride, right? It's one of my funniest stupid things I always talk about. And the answer is 3-time divorced truck drivers. When you get that granular and then you talk about what needs to be done to service that vertical, and then you realize, oh, 3-time divorced truck drivers, they need tips on travel and safety and grooming on the road and all these sort of things, then you build a community around that. They're going to come back to you and buy your product at a higher price. And so it's all about community building, in my opinion. And so American Made is absolutely going to be crushing it in 3 to 5 years from now. I've personally tried to go buy a manufacturing plant. I didn't, because I couldn't find one that worked for me. But I firmly believe that that's the future. So that's really where I would go. American Made, high quality, build a brand, build a community, and don't sell commodity type items because you're going to lose on price, honestly. Studio 11 says, two-parter. In the brand catalog manager, we are listed in Office Products. And Office Products is a regular catalog of Amazon. We are in arts and crafts and sewing, which is correct. They said to go to brand, contact brand for help. They said to go to Seller Central to get it fixed. How do I fix this to show up in the right, correct category in both sides? So the answer here is go over to brand registry. Let's see if I can pull up on my screen. So I'm logging into brand registry on my other screen here. And in here, I don't know why the camera is in a weird spot today. Let's see. Oh, there, that's a lot better, right? Okay, so in here, when you go into support and contact brand support, and the way you get here is to go to brandregistry.amazon.com. And in here, you can go down to listing issue and then change a product's category. Click that, type in the ASIN, and talk about why you want it changed. One of the things that people don't understand is that categories are automatic. What happens is Amazon takes the signal when somebody searches something on Amazon.com, and when somebody's buying your product from a different category tree, when they're doing the searching and they buy your product, Amazon's going to associate that category with yours and then reassign it. Now, this is annoying to Amazon sellers because there's complications, right? Like some categories don't allow certain things, right? There's parentage rule changes, a bunch of other problems that can occur. Personally, if I were in your shoes, Studio 11, I would keep items in multiple categories. I think that's advantageous. However, if there's a different fee structure, that's a problem, right? Like I did a coaching call today with somebody who had a challenge with this very thing, and their fees went up 1.5% because they're selling an accessory for video games, and they moved them to the video game category, which is a higher fee on the referral fee. So they're in a big need to file one of these tickets. So hopefully they get that sorted out and fix it. And by the way, if you need any coaching help, you can go over to myamazonguy.com, click on book a coaching call. We have a variety of coaches, and we do 30-minute sessions. A lot of times people are like, oh, is that enough time? And it honestly is, because we're really fast and speedy and we get right to it. No chit chat, just dive right in. My coaching fee is lowered from $500 for the month of October down to $300, trying to take some pressure off the other coaches right now because they've been inundated. Everybody's got Q4 problems, trying to solve them, trying to get those going. All right, let's go back to the list here. Cool peeps. Happy Friday to you. Hope you feel better. Thank you very much. And as you can see, I've got my lungs back a little bit. In the ads manager, how do you delete portfolios? Wow, I actually have not ever done that before. Can you rename them? I don't even know. I want to like dive into my Seller Central account right now and try and crack this actually, because I'm really curious now. So, all right. So we've got, I'm going to share my screen here. So on the left, we got a bunch of portfolios. So up and down, let's see what this looks like. Can you rename it? Can you even do, so let's see, settings. So nope, can't do anything there. Targeting, drafts, budget, no. Management maybe? No. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Does anybody know the answer to this question? Can you rename or delete a portfolio? I'm really curious. I have no idea. If somebody knows the answer to that, I'd be very, very interested in that. Cool Peep says, "Hi, Stephen. For the verbiage in A+ content, do you have to use exact phrases or just a word salad to index?" It depends on what layer in the SEO phases you're going for. So at My Amazon Guy, we advocate 3 phases in SEO. Phase 1 is word salad, and this is where we're just trying to index for crazy amounts of stuff, right? Phase 2 is about incremental indexing, and so it's a little less word salad. It's more like chop salad. And then finally, phase 3 is the strike zone update, and that's when you got a tactical team going in there and you're doing exact matches. And the reason for that is because you're trying to matriculate those keywords from ranks 20 through 50 up to top 1 through 10. And so, depending on the scale of your listing, if you have more than 50 keywords in ranks 20 through 50, you're ready for phase 3 SEO. And I would go exact matches, but I would be very specific on which ones you choose. Tailor focus the ones that are in the strike zone and try and get those to go up. Any recommendations for product insurance? I used Hiscox. It's on the more expensive side, as I've learned. I've had a few people send in their cost for product insurance was significantly less than mine, but Hiscox is a name brand, and it was a really easy process. So I use them. We do have a video on how to sign up for product insurance. So I definitely recommend checking that out. And I'll post a link to that in the chat here. So here's the video and tutorial, product insurance. You don't have to use Hiscox. You can use anything you want. By the way, supplement companies, I don't know what you're going to do. I still have not found anybody who's found a supplements company that has somebody getting their product insurance correctly. So I don't know what you're going to do. What happens if you straight up put in keywords or phrases in your A+ content and not even make them in cognate sentences? Well, I mean, I would do that in the alt text of the photos, but I definitely would try and get some sensical A+ content descriptions. By the way, I get a lot of criticism for talking about how important text is in A+ content. I'm a thought leader, so criticism totally acceptable. A lot of people don't realize, though, is that Amazon indexes the heck out of A+ content. And we've built out so many A+ contents, and you can test this yourself, right? Like put Spanish behind one photo's alt text, one photo, and you will see it index in under 48 hours. So like anybody that wants to prove whether I'm telling the truth on this, you can test it yourself. We've done so many A+ content designs, and I highly encourage you to increase the amount of copy that you do in A+ content. Now, there might be some exceptions to this. Like, for example, if you have a really high converting product, having less copy makes sense because you're trying to take advantage of that. And, copy looks terrible on mobile. Let's be honest. But copy comes first before design aesthetics. And if you accept that as a company, you're going to get a lot better sales velocities. But I definitely would make it, understandable text. I wouldn't just like chuck stuff in there. So yeah, if anybody wants A+ content, we sell that for $1,000 a la carte. One of our very few a la carte services we offer. Check it out over at myamazonguy.com. And let's go to the next question in queue here. We got it coming in from Steve W. We are brand registered, have A+ access to A+ content, but the brand's dashboard section with analytics is missing. We've tried ticketing, brand registry support, and Seller Central with no help. Any ideas? Steve, if your brand registry is under 45 days old, this is a very common bug. Ticketing is the only thing that you have power to do. Make sure you log into the admin login as well. Brand analytics often will only show up under the admin login. So if it's showing up, you just didn't know it was in the admin login, that might be your challenge. But if it's a new brand registry, sometimes you just got to wait until you get access to it. Here's the good news. It's not that valuable. There's some cool stuff in there, right? Like if you want to know the demographics or the female to male ratio of buying your products, that's helpful. But beyond that, you're not really missing out on a whole lot. A+ content, that's where the sauce is at. You want to make sure you invest heavily in A+ content. It's such an important thing. How did you grow and gain clients when you started your agency? How did you prospect? Was it towards brands directly or wholesales and distributors? So I like getting questions about this. There's a lot of agencies that follow my channel and they mimic and copy some of the stuff we do. And by the way, I'm totally cool with that. I actually, at least once a month, I'll do a coaching session with another agency owner with 8 to 20 clients. And I will tell them everything about my business without holding back. And it's because I don't believe it's me against them. I think it's us against Amazon. I think Amazon is such gigantic. There's plenty of room for all of us. And that's my personal philosophy. So how did I grow? Well, So April 2nd was the first time in 2018 was my first client as a real quote unquote agency. I'd side hustled for years, had more than 20 side hustle clients prior to that, well in the years before that. But when I made the agency, I immediately started making video content. The first video I put out on YouTube was how to build a brand store. And it's my most popular video still today. In that very email, or in that very video, I actually released my email address, and it's Steven at my Amazon guy. And I kid you not, I had my phone number in it as well. For years to come, months to come, people would call my phone from that video. And I took the phone number out, but I kept the email in. I think I might have learned it by now. I don't know. And that's how I first started getting my clients. I made one LinkedIn post and one YouTube post, and I had a client in under 48 hours, and it was Fit Life Brands. Fit Life Brands is an awesome supplements company. They still work with us today, and we've done good work for them. So that's how I started the agency. I immediately had to hire somebody within 30 days because the work got so complicated and technical. There was so much template work that we had to do that, strategically speaking, I needed hands on deck. I then hired over the course of the next year 8 to 10 straight out of college kids. One of those is his name's Jacob Privet, and he started his own agency after working for me. And we're still friends and play basketball from time to time together. And so, like, basically, I'm a caveman. I got fire. I give my fire to my employees. What they do with that fire is completely up to them. And so one of the things I really respect about Gary Vee is when he started his agency, everybody told him he's going to have an average tenure of like 12 to 18 months with his employees. And he said, maybe at your agency, but not at mine. At my agency, I'm gonna get 5-10 years out of my employees, or lifelong. Right now, I'll tell you right now, I'm not getting 5 or 10 years out of my employees at this point. I'm only 3 years old as an agency, technically. But we have 93 employees, and I am still trying to do everything I can to build a culture of honey that attracts people, right? And so an iron fist and glove will not work, not for my methodology. One of my top agency competitors, they spend $80,000 a month on AdWords ads. Can you believe that? 80 grand a month. And they're about the same size as me. I spend $1,500 a month on AdWords. That's it. And the only thing I'm doing is posting my videos on YouTube. So how I grew my successful agency was basically by putting out awesome content and convincing everybody through 800 videos on YouTube that what we have to say matters and it makes an impact. And there's going to be about, for every 100 people that watch a video, 80 of those people are just going to get the problem solved, and then they're going to go on their way. About 5 of them will engage us and pay us for services. So about 5% conversion rate off videos, which is actually pretty high. It's pretty good, right? And then over time they sign up, and hopefully we convert them into a full-time service agent client with us. So I joined the Georgia Manufacturing Alliance. I tried to go directly to manufacturers. They were the hardest ones to work with. There was the bigger opportunity with them because they weren't on Amazon at all to begin with, but they were harder to convince. Nobody likes working on Amazon typically. So that's really where I focused. Wholesalers were easier to work with. They already had a presence on Amazon, but they had retailers they had to kick off. But honestly, our bread and butter is private labelers who have a good product. They want to build a brand. And that's really where we've stuck most of our efforts. So Seller Central, brands, growing. That's kind of how we did it. We don't have any cold lead gen programs. For the first time ever, I spent 18 grand on a postcard and sent that out to 35,000 Amazon sellers. If you got one of those postcards, post it in chat. Just kind of curious to see if you got one of those. And that drummed up a little bit of business, but really it's the YouTube channel. That's how we're doing everything. Not seeing the new brand's catalog manager like your recent video showed. Do we need a ticket for access? It's brand spanking new. It may not be available everywhere yet. Maybe it's in beta still. I would definitely ticket to gain access. I did post a link to it directly at the top of the video. Try and click on the link. See if it loads for you. David said, even if we have a lot of stock at Amazon FBA, do you suggest merchant fulfilling also till the new year? I would, because at some point Amazon's going to be so blocked up that they're going to put your order at delay at FBA. And so I would have it ready. You don't have to have it active. If you have lots of stock at FBA, you could leave 0 quantities in your merchant fulfilled, no problem. But I think I would have your duplicate SKUs ready to roll this year, because I strongly feel Amazon's going to stock out at FBA right around December 5th is my prediction. We can't connect or link our Seller Central to our brand registry. Every time we contact brand support, we get some strange reply and no real help. Daniel, this is the link you're looking for. Check out that video. Kevin, good morning to you as well. Appreciate it. Scrolling down to Thomas, former My Amazon Guy employee. We missed you. Glad you're feeling better. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Tom. Going to some other member questions here. Angela says, given that Amazon recognizes plurals, is there any benefit to putting both words in your title or listing? Dog treat versus dog treats, if each word has high search volume. This is a great question. The answer is, it depends. And you made me laugh here, so might have to clear my lungs here. So I should have gone off screen for that, but still getting over that nasty pneumonia. So what I would do is, on a new listing, I would include both. The more mature your listing becomes, the more likely I would only do the plural. Getting exact matches really does help with the indexing. Amazon does claim, and for the most part, it's accurate, that they do include both plural and singular, but there are many instances where they don't. And when you do them, it actually increases the likelihood for it to work faster and better. So I do recommend it on new listings. Anything with under 1,500 indexed keywords would probably benefit from this technique. After that, you could probably safely float those out. Other than Helium-10, where do you go for product ideas? I used to use Jungle Scout. I think there's a bunch of other good tools out there. I think Zon Guru is a really cool tool. But for me personally, I'm no longer going to the tools for product ideas. I think that that's been commoditized. And if everybody looks at the same data, and they're like, hey, let me use Blackbox, or hey, let me use this tool and find out some cool new product search ideas, everybody's going to start launching the same crap. That's the problem when data gets commoditized. So Angela, personally, I recommend doing what you know. So for example, I was a chess player, and I played in the US Open at the highest levels possible. I've played in chess. And if I was going to launch a chess set, I would know exactly what to do. I know that triple weighted set pieces are the candy to go after. And I know a ton of vernacular and things to do. And plus, I could also create my own chess videos and market my own self, right? As an expert chess player. So Angela, that's what I would do. Stick to what you know. If you're a dentist, sell teeth products. If you're a plumber, sell a wrench. Sell whatever you understand and what you can possibly source yourself and make yourself. Don't use tools to find products. Use tools to validate products you've already come up with. And so if you're like, oh, I'm really into apples and I want to sell an apple slice, well, then you go use the tool and you're like, oh, holy crap, there's too much competition. That's how I would use the tool to naysay something. Drew says, all the components of my product come from the United States and Canada. That being the case, do you still think ordering a year's supply of inventory is necessary? It's not necessary. It's just smart, Drew, because if you call up those suppliers and say, hey, are you guys thinking about raising your prices? They're going to be like, yeah, we're just afraid to do it because, you lose customers when you raise prices, right? Your conversion rate goes down. So Drew, I almost guarantee you their prices are going to be higher in January. So if you buy it now, it's like buying it on discount. So highly recommend it. Scooter says, hey, Steve, glad you're back. Can you explain the Amazon versus Walmart graph? So basically that graphic we posted on the community page. You can follow our community page by going to youtube.com/myamazonguy/community. And it basically just explains like what you can do on Amazon versus what you can do on Walmart. Not a whole lot of value there, Scooter. I just thought it was curious. So not going to really spend time on that one, unfortunately. Toy School says, how do I set up to make sure the returned products are not going back into inventory again? There is a setting inside of Seller Central. If you go into settings and fulfillment by Amazon, let's see if I can find it for you right on screen here. So settings, fulfillment by Amazon. And in here, they did change the UI here. So it's a little bit different. So inbound, automated unfulfillable. So you can enable removing your inventory. Automated. I've disabled the long-term storage though. I don't like that one. Let's see. It's down here, there's got to be a setting for them to repackage things. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. So I'm looking down here. Multi-channel, not that one. Barcode, nope. Donations, nope. It's right around the unfulfillable settings. So I'm not sure why it's not in there. I'm not seeing it off the top of my screen here, but it's going to be in this section. It's going to be related to repackaging or relabeling a product. So see if you can find it inside of the settings there. I'll post a link in there for you at Toy School. There you go. If Amazon loses my inventory, how do they decide how much to reimburse? They give you the fee as if it was sold. So if you normally sell a $20 item and Amazon would pay you $12 after proceeds of FBA and referral fees, they'll give you $12 for lost inventory. Sorry to blow my nose on screen here. Karen says, hi, Steven, can I get an ASIN review? Absolutely. Let's see if we can help you out here, Karen. And post this on the screen here. So we got Bravo 082X. Oh, not typing in the right box. Let's try that again. Bravo 082. X-ray, giraffe, whiskey, 8, Charlie, Juliet. And I'm not 100% sure if I picked the right product. Let me know, Karen. Let's see if that's the right ASIN there. I'm not seeing the ASIN show up in the search result. Does that match? It doesn't. So I'm not sure I typed that in right. Let's try that. Let's double check that. B082. Nope, I didn't. I missed the 2. All right. See if we found the right product this time. I'm going to double check this one more time. 802XGWCJ. Yeah. I can't copy and paste it directly from the channel. It's kind of annoying. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So still not showing anything unrelated. I'm not sure I'm posting this in right. Am I typoing this? I'm scrolling to the bottom, see if I'm typoing it. Nobody said anything in the comments yet. B082X giraffe whiskey 8 CJ. I swear I'm typing it in right. Karen, let me know if I'm messing it up. Matt says, thank you. You're very welcome. Do your video ads usually have the highest ROAS for you? Depends on the product and depends on how good the video is. If you have a really good video, it'd be helpful. Neil gives us an answer to one of those questions. You can't delete them. You can only rename your portfolios. Thank you guys for helping with the assist there. A few of you had the right answer. Appreciate that, guys. Drew says, do you have any supplement clients? Yes, we do. We have quite a few of them, in fact. What is their ad spend? I keep hearing to be effective, you need to be at least 30 to 50%. So some supplement companies that we work with have an omni-channel approach, and they don't like spending money on ads. Other supplement companies that have no omni-channel approach, that means they have no physical brick and mortar, have to spend anywhere from 30 to 50% tacos just to get an item off the ground. And then over time, they try and wean it downward. This is because supplements is a low margin business. And so, excuse me, it's a high margin business. It's completely opposite. Supplements is a high margin business, which means people are going to flock to it, which means it's a harder category to live in because it's hyper competitive. The Chinese are also all over this category, and they play dirty as hell. So just be prepared for that. But yeah, we have Drew. We're actually probably one of the best supplement agencies in the world at Amazon because we've seen everything. We've dealt with every black hat tactic, including the ones where they'd load your product to Canada or the UK and put in a freaking drug paraphernalia, or even like things like cocoa leaves. They'll put that in. They'll load your product into another country and put in the wrong keywords that will get your product banned in the US. We've seen all of that. So very cutthroat. Don't recommend supplements for new clients ever. But for those that are big pockets or have some background in supplements, it's a good category. Still very hyper competitive. And yes, very, very deep pockets required for advertising to get it off the ground. I renamed obsolete portfolios with a Z before them to move them to the bottom of the list. That's a smart technique. I like that, Robert. Quite a few of you guys are talking about the portfolios. Lewis says, hi, Steven. Our DE account was suspended because we haven't successfully registered that number this July, and our U.S. account was related to DE account and got suspended too. I've never seen a US account get suspended for a VAT problem in the EU ever. So I don't think that's the reason. They might have suspended it for like multiple accounts or something unrelated. There's going to be a secondary reason there, Lewis, I think. To rename the portfolio, hit modify portfolio on the right. Well, a lot of you guys really knew how to get that thing going. That's good. Janessa says, I can't add videos to my listings in France. I've checked my images. There are only 6 images. I tried inputting every child ASIN into upload and manage videos. No luck. Tried deleting and re-uploading. No luck. What to do? If this is only happening in one country in France, Janessa, check your brand registry. That's what I would do. I would go over to brand registry and click on the France flag to see if your brand name shows up. If it doesn't, we found the problem. If it does, I would tick it in brand registry and tell them I'm trying to load video Y and it won't attach to my ASIN. Janessa, the other thing I would do is I would make sure you have UPCs loaded in France or EANs if you're European instead of UPCs. I bet that's what it is, actually. I bet that's what it is. You haven't loaded UPCs and it's probably attached to an ASIN and you need to load the UPC. Give that a whirl. Is the second one that comes up. Brand name is Mommy's Bliss. All right. So I wasn't confident I was looking at the right thing. So let's see if I was or not. Mommy's Bliss. Okay. All right. You know what? What happened was I saw sponsored and everything, and I was worried I wasn't looking in the right spot. So a lot of people are advertising on your ASIN. It just really threw me off. Thanks, Karen. So here's the product. Here's an ASIN review. So you need a video. You're missing the video. These are very super heavy text related graphics, and they're very elegant would be probably the right word. And so that could be good. That could be bad. I don't know yet. So, yeah, it kind of looks like a cork cap, which is kind of unique. It's probably just a color. Could be wrong on that. What's in it? What's not in it? Okay. So I like that. I've been definitely stocking up myself on some zinc and ginger, trying to get over this nasty flu. Not COVID, was just the flu. And you get some pre and postnatal. I like that. I really wish we could see your full face because seeing face shots in secondary images is extraordinarily helpful. All the data that we've seen improves conversion rate quite a bit. So I think you've covered the basis on a lot of infographics, but I think you're missing lifestyle. Show me more pregnant belly shots. I think would be really important. Let's scroll down. So like this shot's way better because you can see your face. I wish he was looking at the camera though. I think seeing smiling face right at the camera is better. Another nice shot. I would probably try and get some more stock photos of pregnant women because I think people are going to buy this more as an emotional purchase and not as a tech savvy scientific methodology, right? You already have the 400 reviews. So what I would do is I would focus more on the lifestyle angle here. And this amount of text is perfect for this kind of lifestyle graphic for use before, during, and after pregnancy. Perfect. That's great. Whereas something like this, where it's got so much stuff going on, right? Like, and keep this graphic, by the way, don't get rid of it. But I think I would work in some lifestyle stuff. I would also put in a video and I would run video ads and I would show pregnant belly shots right at the front, then show the pill. That's the one thing you're probably missing here. You don't actually show oh, there it is. Yeah, you just show the pill there. A lot of people want to know how big's the pill? Is it easy to swallow? That kind of thing. But overall, pretty good, solid listing here. Let's look at the run rate. Let's go all time here. So you've been averaging right around 35,000 sales rank for a very lengthy period of time. So it's very stable. You had a little bit of stock out issues, looks like last year, right around the same time period. So very stable products. You've done some price reductions to kind of push the product. I can see that there. Let's look at the keyword distribution. You're under tapped on ads a tiny bit, probably. I usually like to see a 1-to-2 ratio. So for every 1 sponsored keywords, I like to see 2 organic keywords here. And your ratio is a little bit out of whack. It's not terrible, but you're probably leaving some sales on the table from the advertising standpoint. If we look on the right here on the organic ranks to see how well it's ranking, you have 50 keywords in the top 20, which is pretty dang good. So I'd say pretty solid overall. I'll give you a nice B+, A- on the listing. Bullet points, fairly decent. Probably could be a little reworked. Let's see if we can find one keyword that you are in the strike zone for. So this is what we do to figure out like what keywords to focus on. You go look at the organic rank between rank 20 and 50, hit apply, scroll down, sort it by search volume. So you have 151 keywords in the strike zone, Karen, that are opportunities. Nature made prenatal multi. So I don't know if that's a brand name. Ritual prenatal. So let's see. Is that another brand name with ritual? Scroll down here. Yep, kind of looks like it. So we got to find something that's not a brand name. Prenatal vitamin. So this is a 3,000 search. Another one with iron. If your product has iron in it, so let's just take prenatal vitamins. Go back to your page. Do a nice Control F. See if you have an exact match for it. And you don't. So what I would do if I were you, I would redo your title. Look at the keywords that are in ranks 20 through 50. Find things like prenatal vitamins with iron or prenatal multivitamin with 4,000 search volume, 3,000 search volume, and stick those into the listing with an exact match. And then try and matriculate your keyword from rank 35 and rank 40. Push it up. Try and go for those top 20 there. All right. So I think we've caught up on member questions. I'm going to take some random future member questions. If you want to join our channel and get your question in today before we run out of time, go to youtube.com/myamazonguy. Click that join button. Dan says, what is a normal return rate for hair tool products like hair dryers or curling irons? So anything related to fashion, generally about 15%. I would guess yours is probably closer to 10 to 11 would be my guess, Dan. I don't know. That's me guessing. That's not me knowing. I haven't looked at return rates on this particular product in a long time, so I don't know for sure. Hello, Steven. I have my UPCs in my logo of my product. Can I send inventory in just like that, or do I have to have the sticker with the FNSKU? Is it a scannable barcode? If yes, you're good. If no, you're going to have to print the FNSKU. Also, certain categories like supplements, anything consumable, topical, beauty, or anything that you digest must have the FNSKU label on it. All right, let's go to the next future member question. Who should I call to set up for full service? Does your team handle the A+ photos and content if I send you the products? So we're a digital only shop. We don't touch anything physically ourselves. But if you want to get on a call today with Dan, our our sales manager, I'm going to post my father's calendar link. Anybody that wants to schedule a call with him today to talk about our services, we'd be very happy to have you do that. So I'm posting that link right now. So book a sales call. Appreciate you guys watching our session today. Let's see if we can add some more value before we end. Jason says, do I need my own personal documents ready, such as a passport or bank statement for Amazon when opening up multiple seller accounts with multiple LLCs in Wyoming? Yes, you do. Jason, the other thing you could do, though, is get an invite directly from the sales manager at Amazon. We do have access to those. So if you're going to get multiple accounts, you can bypass the identity verification with a direct invite from somebody on the sales team at Amazon. Samsung just became a member of our channel. Appreciate that, Samsung. I don't know if you've posted a question up there or not. I'll see if I can find it. If so, looks like you did. All right. How do I get in touch with your company? Are you Amazon approved? So Samsung, everything we do is Amazon certified with our ads team. All of us have passed the test. Since we have the name Amazon directly in our title of our company name, we are not technically on the brand approved companies in their list, but I can tell you it's never become a problem. And we've got access to more than 300 Amazon accounts and never once had any issues. So if I ever rename the company, I'll probably rename it to something like Mag Growth or something like that to get around that problem. If that, Samsung, was that your only question today? Let's take a look. I think it was. All right. So if you need any other questions, feel free to post them in the chat there, Samsung, before we wrap up today. Thanks for the ASIN review and PPC tip. You're very welcome, Karen. Janessa says, thanks, Stephen. Follow-up question. The thing is, I can't load UPCs in our EU account because our UPCs are shared by both our EU and US accounts. I don't understand why that's the case, Janessa, because you typically would want the same UPCs in both because they share reviews. If they do, different sets of SKUs for the same products, that's a problem. So Janessa, what I would do if I were in your case, I would buy some new UPCs and load them that way. Andy, thanks for coming a member of our channel. Let's see if I can go back up and see if you've posted a question and then I haven't seen yet. I think you did. Hello, Steven. My UPCs are in my logo. Yeah, we did the FNSKU question. So we got that one. Let's see if you have another one in there. Can I not sticker GS1 barcodes? Can I not sticker over the barcode with the FNSKU? So again, this is category specific. If you got a non-topical, non-consumable product, you can use your UPC barcode, no problem. If not, throw the sticker right over the top of it. So thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate that, Andy. All right, let's see if I can scroll up and see any other random questions from future members of our channel. So I don't know if I talked about this yet or not, but if you guys don't know, I'll be speaking next week in the Amazon Powwow event down in Florida. So if you guys want to book a ticket, you can use that link to do so. I will be one of the speakers, and this is going to be November 2nd, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the Jungle Island Convention Center. So it'll be a little bit of fun. The Jewish community is the one hosting this, and they have a bunch of connections and interesting things that they do. If you're looking for an interesting new take, scrolling down to see if there's any other future member questions I may not have gotten to today. Daniel says, I did it after watching your video, did exactly what you said, but didn't work. They only reply some strange replies. Sometimes you have to file the same ticket 7 times when it comes to brand registry tickets, Daniel. So I would keep trying. Also, file a ticket and then call in on the ticket. Also recommended. First product almost sold out in 2 months. Is it better to raise prices until it barely sells or let it run out? Is it just keyword rank that gets hurt? It's just keyword rank. So this is a margin question and a business decision, Brett, for the most part. If I were in your shoes, I would raise the price. I wouldn't raise it until the item doesn't sell anymore, but getting sales at a higher price will allow you to have a list price strike through when you come back in stock, which is very beneficial. Going out of stock sucks and is worse than slowing down your sales, in my opinion. According to the policy, we're not authorized to fetch details from a rights owner account. I request you create a case from your Seller Central account. So a rights owner versus administrator of brand registry. Maybe that's the problem, Daniel. Log into the brand administrator brand registry. Try that. See if that works for you. Recently had a product that did steady sales for a year, dropped by 90% in sales overnight. No new competitors. AJ, you got to look for a hidden suppression. It's almost always related to a hidden suppression if sales tank like that. Go run a Cerebro report, see how many keywords you index for. Search your ASIN right in Amazon to see if there's any problems there. Also check your performance notifications, see if there's any issues with that. Daniel says, one email also said we don't have the right selling roles assigned. They will refresh it. It will work in 24 hours. Sorry to hear that, Daniel. You definitely have some major brand registry bugs. Notice the second seller on my listing, and it is Amazon Warehouse. Are they selling my return products? Can I stop this? They're not selling return products. They're selling products they actually physically bought from you and damaged at their warehouse. So they're like new items. You can technically stop this, but I don't recommend it. Just let them sell it. It doesn't affect anything. You won't lose your buy box or anything like that. Can I upload the images by naming them with my search terms, or must I name it like ASIN main JPEG as Amazon indicates? So, Tunanan, I think you're asking a Vendor Central question, and you do have to follow their naming convention if you're loading it into Vendor Central. If you're in Seller Central, none of this applies. Pilar says, hi, Amazon stopped the PPC campaign of 2 of my products for adult content. They are not. Been doing PPC for more than a year. How can I sell if they don't show on the first page? So you're going to file a ticket, Pilar, and say, remove the adult flag. That is the solution to that. It will work almost overnight. So give that a whirl. I do believe we have a video on that one. Not sure on that. Thanks to your videos with Adam Heiss. You're very welcome. We have successfully changed the brand name. I want to ask your experience about how long does it take to see the product in the brand dashboard? Good question. Probably about probably a solid month, honestly, before it starts showing up. You could do a template upload to try and speed that up, file a few tickets. How to do patent search. I'm not a patent guy, unfortunately. I'm only a trademark guy. Totally different legal components. If anybody has a website link that they think would be beneficial for patent search, please post it in the comments. Help our fellow viewer out. I think I'm running out of gas here. Daniel says, when we also click on stores, we get a 404 or 403 error. The page is blank. Wow, that's bad. That's not good. You have some major brand registry bugs, Daniel. So I would definitely file and get on the phone with them as much as possible. Just received liability coverage requests. Any experience? Yes. We use, I posted a link earlier in this. If you scroll up, We used his COGs to get the product liability insurance. One last question. What is the best method to test scan my product UPC? Easy on this one. Pull out your cell phone, open up the Seller Central app, and scan it. If it scans, you're good to go. Really simple on that one. We have a full guide on barcode labels, actually. You probably might want to watch that one, Andy, right when we hop off here. So I have a full guide on this one, Andy. Full guide. Yeah, I just posted the so that's the video you're looking for right here. Amazon FBA labels full guide. Very, very good video that's going to answer a bunch of your label questions today. So that is our session today. Thanks for joining the My Amazon Guy show. If you liked the show today, please post in the comments what you liked. What was your favorite part of today's show? And all these comments, of course, help us with the YouTube algorithm, helps rank the products, rank the videos, rather. I rank products all day long on Amazon. And that helps more people find out about the show. And if you haven't shared the show with somebody, tell them every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, I'm here answering your questions. Any question at all, PPC, SEO, design, catalog, brand registry, troubleshooting, you name it, we give it a go. We appreciate everybody listening today. Had a really good time with you. It's good to be back. And I will be at the Powwow event next week. We'll see you guys later. You guys have a great weekend. Happy Friday and happy Halloween.